Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No we don't care about the bad nights, and for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No we don't care about the bad nights, and for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this. Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't calm down, my head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No we don't care about the bad nights, and for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime, no we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No we don't care about the bad nights, and for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this.
Hey y'all, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? One second. Can y'all hear me? Shit. Make sure y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, as we know, well, first of all, I'll be home today, thank God, but I wasn't sure anybody would even be up this late. But there has been a little bit of breaking news. It is 4:07 a.m. in the morning here, and Chris and Katie was out seen bike shopping or at a bike store. Now the critics are going to say, well, they were probably there getting the support from their bikers that they get their bike support from, right? However, you did not go to your vigil today for your son. For your son. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. If this isn't some BS, I don't know what in the world they got going through their heads right now. Now, remember, we went to the bike shop that they said that they went to early in the, during all of this. And they did not know. First of all, we asked them, there was no event like Chris and Katie had stated, number one. And number two, they didn't even have a flyer of Sebastian at this time. Not thinking about Sebastian, that's for sure. Correct. Mike in denial. Well, can you do something? Can she do something? Not home with company, huh? Not home with company, huh? Didn't, the interesting thing is, didn't she say and Chris state that he needed to be in Memphis to work? Well, it seems like he has no problem whatsoever being back in Hendersonville during the weekends while Sebastian is missing. Has no problem with that. I agree, Cassie. I agree. Here's another picture, y'all. Looks like they have moved on with their life. They know where he's at. They are disgusting human beings, if that's what you want to call them. It's amazing. Yes, Smiley. That's the way it seems. Got what they wanted, or at least Seth did. Not Seth, crap. I'm so sorry. Lord forgive me. Chris. This is the second time they've been at the bike shop that they have said since their son has been missing. That would have been a damn bike would be the last thing from my mind. Is this why Chris couldn't stay at the vigil? After talking to Seth, Dixie, was he at the vigil? I've been out of the loop, guys, so I'm just now getting back in the things. I've been out for a few days. For a minute. Yeah. Not shaking everyone's hands. Not talking with others, strangers that are looking for their child. She said it herself, tragedy, main character. She did, Mike, you're right. Notice sick Now, 6 weeks later, they are wearing Sebastian t-shirts. Of course. Of course. This is really bad. That's how long they were there. Oh, to lay down whatever law. Just talking to Seth from what I heard. Seth, we can damage control. Now, from what I understand, again, guys, I have been out for the last 2 or 3 days. Um, Justin, you didn't see the video where Seth I have not. No, I have not. Seth, in my opinion, has a motive to friend them. Might be to help on. Be real. I think if there is any reason for him to be friendly to them, it is because he wants information. But I think this is just to make, I think Seth is trying to get information out of them. I don't believe that they are going to give him any information whatsoever, to be quite honest with you. I think this is just to make, I think Seth is doing it for his own reasons, naturally, but I also think that the Proudfoots are not, absolutely not going to give them anything. Miss you, Chudana. Keep your enemies closer. Yeah, I have not heard Seth say that at all, but you need to watch what he said to those who are helping him. Seth said F you to the ones that don't want to work together with both parents to help find Sebastian. Um, is Katie in the reserves? She may be fixing to be called up. Yeah, off. No, I don't think she is. Chris approached Seth, in my humble opinion, beginning of the end, I hope. And it could be, the Proudfoots may be playing a new game, in my opinion. If they think something is coming, they may want Seth, the father of Sebastian, to, be a little bit of a, maybe to go a little bit easier. Chris thinks if Seth teams up with them, they will stop searching. Well, listen, this is not going to stop. Whether Seth is BFFs with the Proudfoots or he's mortal enemies with the Proudfoots, the investigation does not stop. I mean, people are going crazy on here with, either Team Seth or Team Proudfoot. Listen, I have, people, they're just losing their minds. And like I've already told people, whatever has happened to Sebastian happened 6 weeks ago, y'all. That happened 6 weeks ago. Whatever happened to him has already happened to him. The crime, whether it be the Proudfoots or someone else, or even if he walked off by himself, which I don't think happened whatsoever. This is a criminal investigation, in my opinion, even though TBI has said there's no criminal element to that. Try to get a FOIA request, and they'll certainly say this is a pending criminal investigation. So there's that. But whatever has already happened to Sebastian has already happened to him. The crime has been committed. By who? That's up in the air, right? But it's not worth getting yourself out of character. It's not worth arguing with someone. It's not worth losing friends or, anything over. I just want to see TRH footage. Just like Riley's family wanted to see less footage, why not show it? I think because, simply put, again, the last TBI non-update update said this is not a criminal investigation. I completely disagree with that. They can tell us exactly whatever they want. Police can absolutely lie to you or the public. That is up for you to, um, either take their word or give them the side eye. Um, Seth is navigating some tough waters right now. He is. He is. I hope that he clarifies who he meant to say F off to, because I know just by the chat, some of you in chat here, that isn't set well with you. But good morning, Shay. But if this has to be a very exhausting, emotional, trying time. And, I think at different moments, you're going to see different, emotions come out of Seth. I don't think the Proudfoots will search after 55 plus days. I'm not sure what Seth means by working together. It may be a social media front. I think it's a front that is in, they feel like it's in both their interest. Um, you know, um, I do believe that Seth feels like he may get a little bit of information, and I think the Proudfoots think that it will help them, but I don't think the Proudfoots are going to say a damn thing, and I don't think the Proudfoots trust Seth, and I don't think Seth trusts the Proudfoots, to be quite honest with you. but that's just my opinion. He says if you can't support them both, then just be there for Sebastian, then F you. Well, I don't support the Proudfoots. I don't. I don't. Um, but, I do support um, Sebastian. And, I absolutely still support Seth. Thank you. It is what it is. But I'm going to, I'll watch it and try to get some clarification on that. Yeah, he's definitely not making friends with the Proudfoots. It is absolutely for Sebastian. I think all he wants is the line of communication to stay open. Yeah, I don't either. And he knows that he came in. Yeah, I was in there. Smiley. I asked him what he was going to tell me to F. Oh, okay, so that's what it was. He said, no, I'm for Sebastian. Yeah, yeah. I was in there, but I didn't know the video had happened, you know, earlier today. Why the hell would a PI post anything on Facebook? So the PI issue, I don't really. Again, I've been out for the last 48 or 72 hours, so I don't know a lot. I'm gonna have to catch up today. I will not apologize for my opinion, either innocent or not. We know what went down years ago. Absolutely, allegedly, Amber. Absolutely. Hey, Lisa, I don't know why people are taking Seth as if he's speaking to them. People need to get over themselves. I mean, you know, I think, what Seth meant was, he's going to talk to the Proudfoots regardless. You can either support it or don't and just be there for Sebastian. Now, me, I absolutely am here for Sebastian. Um, I'm absolutely still here for Seth. And I'm not the Proudfoot, so that's, the way I take it. Um, I mean, with the stress that all of them, for that matter, has been going through, I mean, I think most of us by now would have told someone to at least F off one or two times. That's my opinion. I probably would have by now. Seth owes no one anything except maybe Sebastian. Seth was talking to the Proudfoots. I think not us, in my opinion. Perhaps. I like Seth. I think the PI is shady. I don't know who the PI is, but I will be well versed in it. By the end of the day, a PI should be very careful on what they put out. Absolutely. We're not going to find Sebastian. Seth, Chris, and Katie can take their shit somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, I think if the TBI or locally, they would give the public a little bit of breadcrumbs, I think it could ignite. Maybe someone saw something. Maybe someone was, traveling to Mississippi or Alabama on or just in the area that morning and said, hey, if you saw this vehicle between the hours of this and this or whatever, I think it would help if they don't have exactly what they're looking for. Now, if they have exactly what they need, except for Sebastian, I think, it's not really it may not do any good. It may. I don't know. He is still. They're definitely not telling Seth anything at all. If they know what happened, yeah, they're not going to tell. They're not going to tell Seth a damn thing at all. I think this is more for the Proudfoots to maybe get a little bit of pressure off of them. I think it looks better for the Proudfoots to have the bio father on, your side. But I also think that it's not, I don't think it helps or hurts anything really at all. I think I think Seth will definitely get some more, side eyes. But again, like I have said in the past, that if I try to put myself in people's positions, and not that you really can unless you've been there, but just trying to think about it. I think, if people said, you know, you did something with your kid and you didn't, you really wouldn't give a flying F what people thought, per se, because you didn't do anything. And I think Seth is just at that point. Now I think Chris and Katie absolutely do mind what people think of them, specifically Chris. Well, Seth isn't getting any input from law enforcement, and Proudfoots are getting updated daily per law enforcement. So teaming up, he maybe thinks that's a good point. Wise gal. But I think the reason, and I'll be honest with you, I really like, Seth overall, and I think the reason he is not getting updates from law enforcement is because he has been on social media, and they know that the Proudfoots aren't going to tell. And when we say updates, we need to remember updates is not telling them what they are doing in the investigation. It's not telling them. They're not, the Proudfoots are not knowing anything more than you and I know as far as the investigation. They don't know any more than you and I know. Um, that the Proudfoots were also on social media. That's true, Donna. They were. but now they're not. They're not. And to be, and and I'm just trying to look at this in an objective way, um, as possible here. Chris would not tell anything that was going on in the investigation. He would, HIPAA, 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 everything, right? I can't tell you this because it's pending the investigation, which was a good thing for him to say, because whether it did or it didn't, he still said it, um, to benefit him, in my opinion. But when it comes to Seth, he would tell us more. Morning, Chantel. Struggling to a den of snakes will probably just get him bitten if Chris and his family are really as bad as rumored to be anyway. I would like to see them papers that come with the polygraph test, so they can see what questions were asked and if they failed. So, when is Nancy going to do her show? I thought she was supposed to do it Wednesday, and nothing came out. Absolutely looking beyond. Absolutely. I mean, look at these two. I mean, you show up finally after, you know, 6, 7 weeks of your child missing, whenever you've been bike shopping and supposedly working, but not working, but it being up in the air, keep going back to Mississippi left and right, um, sitting in a camper doing absolutely nothing that I can see or tell. So, if true about ride-in police car, remember Seth better be glad not him. Actually, those, I know a lot of people's made about the thing about riding in a police car, but you have to remember that many times they are making the people that may or may not be involved really comfortable, right? They're building rapport, and that is something that they do. Cops and TBI, they are making them comfortable, building rapport, building trust, making it seem like it's not that big of a deal. When it comes to just general talk, and it can be the littlest thing, the littlest inconsistency, the littlest talk, driving around, find the littlest inconsistency. Let Proudfoots act like this is a fresh start, in my opinion. Well, I think, um, Chris and Katie, they don't have any child with them now. I think Chris wanted Sebastian out of the way, my opinion. I think he wanted his daughter there. And I think either way in this marriage, either way it went, there was going to be animosity between one of them. I don't think Chris wanted Sebastian there. And I think, obviously, Katie probably did want her son there. And I think Chris was talking Seth, and he was going to be moving in with Seth. Sebastian was going to be moving in with Seth. And I think after that happened, Chris thought he was going to do anything and everything to get his daughter. But I think that's going to build animosity for Katie. Oh, you didn't want my son, but you want your daughter here. It's my opinion. Oh, he absolutely was. Sebastian was. He absolutely was. But I think the pressure had been building in that house, and one of them snapped. One of them snapped. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this for a second. Chris, would he stand up for Katie if he wasn't involved in any way? Or would he drop her like a tamale? A hot tamale, right? I don't think Chris has much loyalty. Now, if he was involved, well, I think he would need Katie more. So that's why, in my opinion, so he still might drop her. I mean, Smiley, absolutely, he still could, but I don't think he will if he is involved. If Chris is involved, I don't think he will drop her because I think he needs her. Now, he may drop her after, or if, I should say, arrest would come to one or two of them. Do you think that Sebastian's friends, all about to get their license, that Sebastian asked Katie about what he can learn and drive, and she never saw it as an option? I mean, there's a chance, but I think, you know, I think Sebastian was growing up. He was, he was at that age where, you know, a boy 15 or 16 years old, they're starting to become, in 2 years, 3 years, they're going to be legally an adult, right? And I think, sweet 16 for a girl, you really start to change out of that adolescent, and you start becoming more, even though you're not an adult, but you start becoming more of that because your body is changing and your mind is changing. You're maturing. Yes, Lisa Lee, yes, you're maturing. And I think at that age, um, kids think that they know better than parents. And we've all been there. You've had teenagers, and they start challenging you. all of our kids have challenged us, right? At some point. And I don't think that went well in the Proudfoot home. Don't think it went well at all. They better have some really good, strong tires on that bike. Hey, Mohawk, Chris would have sent her to his mother's home during visits. Chris only got her on holidays, and that is when Seth had Sebastian. Yeah. Was Seth supposedly to be at the bike shop with dirty socks? Not that I'm aware of, baby kisses. Remember what? It wasn't very long after Sebastian went missing. They said that they had went to a bike event. We went to that bike store. There was no event held at that bike store, number one. And number two, there wasn't even a flyer of Sebastian at the bike shop. Chris Proudfoot is the controller in that household. That lady, Nina, shouldn't allow that little girl to be with Chris Proudfoot. So, Joy, I'll be honest with you. I think it's Chris wants his daughter because he wants to, in my opinion, hurt Nina. I'm not saying physically. I just think he wants to hurt her emotionally in any way possible. But I think Chris's mother wants Faith more than anything. And hey, Chris. And she has the means in order to pay for the attorneys that is needed. Yeah, Chris is fairly short. He's what, 5'8", 5'9"? Yes, Pammy K. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. I'd challenge my parent too if I was forced to wear pull-ups at 15. Damn right, Shay. Exactly. Preach. I think that was a way for Chris to humiliate, to belittle Sebastian. Can't imagine him, what that has to do with your self-confidence growing up at a young age, being highly functional. Maybe accidents did happen, but so what? There's a change of clothes, right? How come they don't organize a ride for Sebastian? Don't they have biker friends, Drew? Yeah, that's a good point, and I think that um, is one way Chris and Katie may actually do something is, something they're interested in, bikes, in order to actually help the cause in finding their child and his stepchild. The pic of Seth and Chris by the truck, in my opinion, Chris has an aggressive stance. He was really close up with his leg between Seth's and Seth just had his hands on his pockets. I think he's only 5'7" max. I haven't seen the picture of Chris and Seth. Like I said, I've been out a few days, out of state, heading home just a little bit. We'll be back in the grind. Does anyone else confirm that doesn't live in that house that he actually wears a pull up? I mean, Seth told us that. I believe Seth. He said Chris got so mad at Sebastian having accidents at school and Katie having to bring, or this is the excuse, and Katie having to bring clean clothes. Well, put some clean clothes in his backpack. I understand if Cat had thumbs. I understand, trust. Chris' mom only posted one time about Sebastian. Yeah, I think Chris's family are, how do we say it? They are kind of, they're not old money, but they try to resemble old money. And I think if you are anything, like if you are not blood, a bloodline, then I don't think you're actually ever really in with the family. Also, I think that, yeah, I'm just saying right that Chris, Katie, and Seth should do an interview together for a big show. I think that would be absolutely great, Cassie. And that way, I think we could see where all of them stand together, where they might differ, and um, perhaps get some clarity. If he's actually done before it started. Chris went looking for Seth help, in my humble opinion, to bring an end to this. Mike, I think this is definitely something Chris has. I think the Proudfoots need Seth more than the Seth needs the Proudfoots. I'll just say that. Yes, Glitter. It was a TV. Yesterday I was live, y'all, and I was sitting at my hotel outside next to the fire, and there was this blood curdling scream, and it just kept on going and kept on going. And all of us that was sitting out there were like, what the hell's going on? So um, the staff was out there and excuse me, and they called police. And after my live, I ended my live. We was out there looking and kind of spying, and I went to my room, and they were actually on the same floor as me at the very, very end of the hall. And the police arrested that guy. I actually have him on video being arrested. It was a DV, and she was saying, "Don't take him to jail." Yeah, it was like wailing. She's like, "Don't take him to jail." And the police were like, they did the right thing. I don't really, it was like, I don't really care what you feel or you want. He's going to jail tonight because, remember what happened to Gabby Petito, right? Chris approached Seth, said what he said caused this dude knows people are on him. Chris is the reason Sebastian is missing. Well, whether, you know, I think Chris thinks this is going to help him and Katie thinks this will help him, but it doesn't change my opinion about the Proudfoots. It doesn't in the least, personally. Now, you can feel how you feel, that's absolutely fine, but for me, it does not change the fact of what has happened, the behavior, the lies, the story that doesn't make sense in the past 6 weeks. It does not change it at all. As a DB survivor, it's safe for her to. Yeah, yeah, Jennifer. I was thinking that too, because if she didn't beg, it's going to come out again. He's going to get out and he's going to be like, why didn't you stand up for me? Kind of thing. And it's a very vicious cycle. Yeah. I mean, what other vigil have they showed up for Sebastian? This one, only Chris to ambush Seth. Yeah. Now I am watching all family members. It's so sad that to find Sebastian and Summer can't be found. I really believe if they are able to solve this case, I believe they can solve Summers as well. Right, exactly, Glitter. And that's the thing people forget, and I try to remind them. Glitter says, "You are right, Justin. It's not going to change the evidence that law enforcement is holding close to the vest, and we don't even know about, no matter who sucks up to who or who puts on a show. It's not going to change what has already happened. Whatever has happened to Sebastian happened 6 weeks plus ago, right? In my opinion, there is a crime that happened to Sebastian 6 weeks ago. 2, that's up in the air. I have, my opinion. You have yours. We may have the same, we may not. But whatever has already happened has already happened. It's not going to, my opinion, your opinion is not going to change what happened to Sebastian. My opinion of Chris and Katie and Seth is not going to lock them up. My opinion is not going to change whether Chris was at home, whether Katie was involved, whether a third party is involved, or even if he walked off by himself, it's not going to change what has already happened. These are just opinions. Opinions are not factual. My opinion stays the same, and they caused my opinion themselves. I absolutely believe, in my opinion, that Chris and Katie are involved in some way or another. An autistic child does not walk outside barefooted at 26 degrees and floats invisibly past cameras. And their stories doesn't make sense. A 3-hour freaking phone call? Bull crap. That's my opinion, though. But again, it doesn't change whatever happened. Scotty did not beam him up. No. That's right, Mohawk. That's exactly right. I think whatever happened, he was taken out of that garage at some point. Thank you, Wise Gal. KP said in an interview that Sebastian medicine suppressed his appetite, but said he often snuck snacks and talked about nothing about, sorry, I can't read. I got my glasses on. But said he often snuck snacks and talked about nothing but food. Did she even give medicine? Um, there was no indication that she gave him medicine. If she gave him medicine, I think he would have been in his bedroom asleep. If she gave him medicine at 9 o'clock or whenever, but she never indicates that she gave him medicine. She never indicates that she gave him a bath. She never indicated that he wanted a snack before bed. She never indicated that he brushed his teeth before bed. She never indicated nothing before bed other than he was in his room all evening while she sat on the phone. Thank you for that, Wise Gal. So, hey, Dixie. And that is just not normal. It's just not normal, in my opinion. Where's the RV? I guess it's sitting still in Mississippi. I started to ask a question, Justin answered it while I was typing it. So, hungry for pizza? I wonder if they gave him meds to knock Sebastian out. Yes, the RV's been checked. The RV has absolutely been checked. Did they run forensics? I don't know, but I do know that they did a physical examination, tearing it apart and looking. She said she went to bed at 9, but Chris told Duchess that he went missing between 12 and 6. Well, there's been different stories about that. She was talking on the phone for 3 hours to him, but she was also studying, but she was also sleeping. And at around midnight, he said, "Get up, put the dogs to bed, in their crate, and Good night, Hey, Rach, I wonder if law enforcement pulled the prescription fill dates on counted pills. Most of those meds are controlled, yes. It might indicate when he disappeared timeline or she was neglected in administering. Perhaps, yes. Good point. I've offered to take my private security canines into the house. I want to see if my narcotics dog will pick up his autism meds if they threw them out. Why would they if they want him back? Yeah, Julia, I mean, if they know he's coming back or hope he's coming back, I don't think they would throw away his medicines, right? Wonder if Sebastian likes school. Um, there was no indication that he was bullied, from what I understand. So, but that still doesn't mean you like school, right? Story number one, she said she was on the phone from 9:30 to 12:30. Then she bumped the time back 30 minutes. Yep, very true, Mohawk. Mom, interesting. I don't think I picked up on that. Yeah, and Chris said Sebastian went missing anywhere from 12:30 to 6. Well, that's only 5.5 hours, right? 5.5 hours. Um, then a thud happened at 6, or sorry, a thud happened at around 10 o'clock, according to Katie, which she never ever checked on him during the thud, during any time during the night, didn't go peek in his room, didn't knock on his door, nothing at all. So it's craziness. Absolute craziness. The only reason to be at home on the phone for 3 hours is if you're fighting or plotting, in my opinion. Yes, it's possible. Or Katie did something. She was freaking the freak out and called Chris. Chill, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to bed. Yeah. Well, I mean, if she gave his medicine at 8:30, 8:45, even 9 o'clock, which again, there's no indication of that, you would think by 10 o'clock he would be sleepy, ready to take that medicine, right? I can't go over the 911 dispatch. Kind of mockingly described Katie driving her baby blue SUV. Yeah, her and her mother-in-law's cars are same uh, make and model. It's very interesting as well. So if the noise happened at 3 a.m., then Sebastian couldn't have went missing before 3 a.m., right? Um, I mean, I'm not sure I'm following you, Lisa, on that, but the thud happened at 10 p.m. according to Katie. I believe she absolutely heard a thud. Whether it was something she did to cause that thud, or whether it was something Chris did to cause that thud, she heard something. Justin, Seth said in the beginning that Katie would call him and talk to him on her way to work. I personally think she would talk to Chris on his way to the camper. Yeah, yeah, I agree. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. I wanted to come live, talk to you guys about that. I will be live later this evening once I'm home and everything is settled down. So make sure you guys look this evening after 3 p.m. I'll schedule it for a live for this evening. Got a lot to talk about. I'll be back in my studio, back to normalness. So, had to be out of town for a few days. I did get to hand out flyers while I was here. Also, I took a picture on my community post. There is um, pictures of Sebastian on the gas pump monitors here in Pigeon Forge for missing and exploited children. So I thought that was great as well. I was getting gas and I saw his photo and I was like, oh, that's awesome. All right. I love you all. Please hit that thumbs up button if you haven't yet. I would greatly appreciate it. It is Sunday. Hope you have a beautiful day, each and every one of you. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of your mind and your body. You only have one of them. And if you're not good, then those around you will not be as better off either. Tell the truth. Dolly Parton had you for dinner. I mean, you know, I would have to be in Brentwood, which would be close, very close to Chris and Katie if that were the case. But Dolly, I'm always available. You just let me know, babe. All right, guys. Love you all. See you guys in a little bit.